Crossing over to the US, Andy Cohen is on Zoom with us, looking fabulous. Andy is at his place. Good morning. Hey, Andy.
Hey, guys. Good morning, Australia. I'm so excited about this.
You don't know how excited we are, Andy.
Where are you?
I'm in the Hamptons, man.
Oh, man, that looks good. I haven't been in the Hamptons for a very long time. Last time I was in the Hamptons, I was at a guy called David Sonnenberg's house. He's a big music manager. And I was in a really small outdoor hot tub with him, and Yoko Ono was on the telephone. And I was thinking, what goes on in the Hamptons? This is a whole new world.
Everyone from New York goes to the Hamptons, don't they, for like their little holidays?
They really do. I am grateful that I was able to get out of New York City about 6 weeks ago, and I'm doing Watch What Happens Live. I'm hosting it from the Hamptons.
Amazing.
So I basically moved out here, and it's great.
Do you get to call the shots where you host a reunion show or Watch What Happens Live?
Well, I will be hosting the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion very soon, and I'll be doing it from the Hamptons. I had hoped to fly out to LA this week and do it from there, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You are so great doing those reunion shows.
Oh, the best.
I just am in awe of how you manage them, because they're difficult to manage with all those housewives. And you don't take any shit either, and you call people out, and I love that. What are they like to film? Because when I was watching, I've been binge watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, so I started from the beginning all over again.
Yeah, that's what you do in quarantine. We're going back to the start, and we're getting it. We love that.
Yeah.
And the Beverly Hills one's my favourite. I love the New York. Do you love the New York one as well?
I do, but Andy, do you think the New York girls are like going a little crazy at the moment?
I gotta tell you, Jackie, there's a lot of booze this season, and the good news is that it becomes a big topic of discussion as the season goes on, because they're all kind of in various stages of being off the rails, and so they actually start talking a lot about their relationship with alcohol and alcohol in the group. And I'm so excited that you're all the way in Australia and you're seeing these shows. And I've been wanting Watch What Happens Live. We're finally on Hey You, as are all of the housewives.
Yes.
And you guys can get them on the same day on Hey You as they're shown here. And this is so big. And I'm so bummed, because I've been wanting to come to Australia and promote Watch What Happens Live and the Housewives in person, but I've been detoured now, and here we are on Zoom.
I love the Zoom thing's great too, because people, like getting in a car, flying somewhere, going to a hotel, doing all the press junkets. It seems like such a gigantic waste of money for all these years when you can just put the laptop up at home and do the whole world from your house.
I know, it's so true. I mean, it's actually afforded us on Watch What Happens Live. I've been getting such great guests, and I wonder, we always kind of get great guests, but hopefully, we've been getting a lot of people who weren't going to be on a plane, who we don't have to rely on that.
Yeah.
Now, are you in LA? One of you is in LA and one of you is in...
Oh, no. Normally, I live half the year in Los Angeles, but I just happened to be back before all the corona thing started. So I stayed here. So my house is in LA. I got a friend there to do a little Skype video with me the other day. The cars are covered in dust. It looks like the Addams family lives at my place now. It's just sitting there, and it'll be there. I don't think we can travel to America at least until the middle of 2021 is what our government's telling us, which is crazy.
The irony is now, everyone, this current administration was worried about immigration and not letting in. Guess what? No one wants to come now. You can watch us on the Housewives.
Hey, we've got Real Housewives of Melbourne, which we love. We know the girls well. Then we had Real Housewives of Sydney. That seemed to last one episode, and must have been too feral for the rest of the world, because there were some feral chicks on there,
They
right?
were sort of like where
crazy.
New York is at now, when in Too Hard, Too Soon.
That's right.
Did you ever see the Sydney one?
I have to say, I'm embarrassed to say, I'm an executive producer of the 7, soon to be 8 versions here in the States, but I don't have anything to do with the overseas version.
Really?
When I was a producer at CBS News, I went to Australia and did a story about the feral cat problem in Australia. Are there still are there a lot of feral cats?
I've got to admit, I've never heard once that there was a feral cat problem here.
either.
Is that true?
Every now and then there's a panther spotted up in the mountains, or we think that might be like a yowie or a yeti or a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We're not sure if that's real, but I've never seen a feral cat thing.
No,
have you?
I don't think we have a feral cat problem here.
See that?
Crazy.
We don't know what we're talking about over here.
Don't know what's real and what's not in news.
Honestly.
The thing that we love about the Real Housewives, all of the franchises, is that is as real as life gets. Like when you stick a camera in a bunch of, no matter whether they're high society types or we had a great show over here where it was dealing with people in housing commission houses, like government sort of, like the same craziness goes on whether you're living in a house in the Hamptons or a house in a slum. Same sort of weird stuff spills out. It just goes to show how human we all are.
People always ask what the housewives are really like and and I always say, if you run into them in the wild, you will know that they are exactly as they are on the show. I mean, and the funny thing is the New York women who might be the most off the rails, I'm running into them. Yeah. They're all in the Hamptons. I've got Countess Luann who's driving by on a boat outside my house.
Oh my God.
It's lunacy.
I love that Countess.
I love the look of your house too. It looks because we can see it.
Thank you. I was trying to get the bay in there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
There's a very pretty. It's kind of the end of the day right here.
Oh, look at that! Look, you're right on the water. Like you're hanging over the water by the look of it. You jutted out.
I am.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now you know how you play Plead the Fifth on your show. We're going to turn the tables and do Plead the Fifth with you.
Oh, really?
I love it.
I know. So we'll ask you a series of questions. You can only plead the fifth on one. Obviously.
No, we don't have such a thing in our legal system here.
No,
there is no pleading. That like here, you have to you dob yourself in. You go to prison.
Yeah,
we don't have the same.
You either tell the truth or you lie.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
no plead
Most
the fifth.
of us usually lie. It's just the way Australians are. Okay, Jackie, fire away when you're ready. Andy Cohen is playing Plead the Fifth.
Andy Cohen, who is your favourite housewife?
Ooh. Who is my favorite housewife? That changes by the minute. I mean, it's literally, that's a boring answer, but there are so many that it usually is right now I'm watching the Housewives of Potomac.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm going to say at this second, it's Karen Huger because I'm watching the Potomac Housewives and she just did something hilarious on the cut that I'm watching.
Oh,
but it'll change. I'm about to watch a cut of Beverly Hills, so it'll be Rinna in 2 minutes.
Lisa Rinna.
She's the best.
Who is or has been your least favorite housewife?
Ooh.
Are you going to plead the fifth early, or are you going to answer this one?
I would say it's probably someone who's no longer on the show.
Yep.
Vanderpump.
Oh, couldn't be Vanderpump.
I love Vanderpump.
I love Lisa Vanderpump.
How good she? Can't you get her back onto Beverly Hills?
Hang on.
I guess I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Oh, he's got it. It's a very hard thing to do. It's like saying, who do you hate? Out of your children, do you hate the most?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be my least favourite. Who would be your favourite, Kyle, of all the housewives? I reckon
my favourite's Lisa Vanderpump. My least favourite, Brandy Glanville.
Brandy, okay.
Yeah. There was some weird hole she had in her face. I couldn't get over it. Did you see the hole?
No.
It was like a big pore that needed to be filled up.
Oh, no.
No, that's her mouth.
And Brandy was not. Brandy's been to my house, so she was nice.
Really, yeah. I thought she was.
Well, Vanderpump's been to my house. A few of them have been to my house, but not for sex. Not a sexual thing.
No, they just came around, didn't they? And Bethany, she's a good housewife. I know she's not on New York anymore.
Bethany's fantastic. She's down the road. I'm going to see her in a couple of days. We're going to have a little jacuzzi date.
Very cool. Okay.
You've got two best friends. One is Anderson Cooper, great news broadcaster, fantastic on CNN. The other one is Kelly Ripa, also fabulous. She's on there, Kelly and Ryan. They do a big show in America, a huge show. It's not shown here, but we know the show. We know Brian really well, and we've met Kelly. Here's Jackie's final question.
Which would you take on a deserted island? You can only choose one to go with you.
You mean take him away like a Kentucky tour, or you're stranded forever?
The one you'd want to hang out with the most.
Whoa, that's a tough one. Anderson Cooper or Kelly Ripa?
Kelly. I mean, Anderson is so moody. Now, the good news is I know his moods. And Yeah, so God, if I was alone on a desert island, I mean, Anderson and I have been through so much, and we're like brothers. But I actually think I have a better chance of getting laid by Kelly than Anderson.
Wow. hey, how's that?
And are you?
You're not thinking it through, though. What about building a heart and everything? Would Kelly be good when building
That's the other thing. You know, Anderson has a lot of information about survival, so he could be good. Yeah. But I just think he would get sick of me and he would do something to me, like eat me in the wrong way.
Kelly Ripa gets done, and she's the one he's chosen.
She's the
That's
chosen
amazing.
one.
She seems like
I'm a little annoyed with her. I was at her house yesterday, and she gave me this truck for my son, and this truck makes so much noise it's making me nuts. I'm like, you did this to torture me.
It's like giving someone's kid a drum kit.
Yeah.
That's like a cruel thing.
Yeah, and you know what? They know what they're doing when they give you something that's got sirens and noises and ratchets, and they know what they're doing, these parents.
No, I'm telling you, my friends are so excited to torture me now because I'm so old. I had a kid so old that they're now, these friends of mine who had kids 20 years ago, they're sending me all this plastic and all this crap just to screw with me. They literally are torturing me.
I reckon you'd be a great dad. And anyone who wants children in their life, I've got no children. I've had the opportunity a few times, but, thanks to our laws here, we didn't have to follow through. Jackie, you followed through on yours. You had your child. Hey, good on Jackie. She kept her baby. I thought that was wonderful. She's single.
Wow. So you are saying that you have... You terminated.
Not me.
So
not
you
me.
got to remember that Andy's really good at getting a headline cast. So
I didn't terminate. I might have financed several terminations.
You co-signed the termination of your child or children.
Well, let's not do this.
There was no signing.
I'm going to save you here.
It was a cash in hand.
I'm totally just being an ass.
But because you're like, Kyle went there first, so hey, I'm going with this.
I just couldn't believe it. I do try to take every opportunity on what happens live.
I know.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
But I saw your 60 Minutes piece. It was quite impressive.
Oh, God,
you saw that. Why would you even?
Why you didn't? Why? What was the problem with that?
Well, it made me look like a Rolls-Royce driving, gun-shooting maniac, and then it made Jackie look.
Be.
Yeah. Actually, I am. I think. I am.
I thought it was very cool.
I thought it was
quite
cool.
lengthy. I was like, wow, it was very long.
Yeah. I was hoping for the whole show, but apparently it was just 3/4 of the show and then someone else.
I thought it was long too, Andy. Did you decide to watch that just purely because we're interviewing you? Do you do that much research when you do interviews?
I do not. It was such a fluke. I actually was a little bored on my phone last night, very late. I couldn't sleep, and I looked at my calendar, and in the calendar with this, there was a link to this interview, and it said this is Australia's #1 morning show. And I was like, oh, and then I clicked the link. I was like, I want to see who these guys are, and I was so interested that you live in LA and you've been on 20 years and the whole thing.
20 years together. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I'm like, because I'm such a fan of yours, Andy. I can't believe you've watched us.
I'll keep it together. Keep professional, for God's sake.
I love you. I love you.
I can't believe anyone knows who I am in Australia.
Oh, we all know. We all know.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I mean, the Australian men are so great looking and great spirited.
Hey, can we get a little pan?
I gotta get there.
I've got 80% of my staff are gay young men. A lot of people are saying, well, what does that say about me? I say, well, then I just pick the best people to work for. Okay, my gay boys, stand up. Let's pan the shot so Andy can see. They all
look
are.
At all the gay boys.
Look at them all.
Yeah.
Okay, John, can you put your pants up a bit? John likes to get his penis out at the drop of a hat. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, they all do.
Raise your hand if you're looking for an American daddy.
Everyone's hands are raised.
Now, can you see behind me? It's our main gay. It's Brooklyn, the newsreader, and he's been fantastic because for a long time here in Australia, if you're a gay man and you're in media, you had to hide yourself. And we were like, no, that's ridiculous. Be yourself. Talk about, and he would go and when I said talk about your stories,
Yeah, I went there.
I was not expecting on a Monday morning to have gay orgy stories and all these things coming up on the radio. I was like, oh, I was trying to get a point of view.
He's shared with us his STIs.
Oh, he's had it all. He's had the crabs, the gonorrhea. He's had everything.
Yep.
And now he's in a monogamous relationship with a guy who was straight. I met that guy on the weekend. Let me tell you, that guy was never straight, but a wonderful man he is. and yeah, we love equality on this show. And we love everyone to understand what other people go through and to try, while we might not feel certain things that in our daily sort of walk of life, it's good to hear what other people go through and they think and what makes other people tick. I think that's what's been the success of this radio show over the years.
Wow, good for you guys.
Yeah, it's been fun.
20 years.
Yeah, someone should make a reality show about this joint. I tell you what, it'd be ripped off the air in about 10 minutes. Like the filth that goes on here, it's unbelievable. They're having sex in the building and everything. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Not
I
Jackie
need to
though.
get
Jackie's
down
only
there
had sex with 7
immediately.
people her whole life. Been through a few marriages just quietly. We call her the Liz Taylor of radio. But she's beautiful. She's a wonderful
I didn't even know
woman.
I had that nickname until now.
Yep, there you go. Well, now you know.
Well, Andy, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. I hope you come on the show again. You're welcome anytime.
I hope so. I'll come anytime. Please watch What Happens Live and all the Housewives and all of our great shows on Hey You. It's available anywhere, and you get them on the same day. Thank you for having me, and thank you for not kicking me off.
No, never. You never get kicked off here.
No, and I love Hey You. I'm on it all the time.
Yes,
so.
we're big Hey You fans. Live every Wednesday through to Saturday exclusively on Hey You. You can check out every episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen and all the Housewives stuff. It's all on there. Check it out.
Thanks, Andy.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
The Kyle and Jackie O Show.